Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be trying a fun little experiment, seeing if we can stop one of the Lemoyne Raiders from actually shooting himself in Shady Belle, which actually takes place in the mission, the Battle for Shady Belle, the final mission of Chapter 3. We talked about this in my video the other day. Long story short, Arthur and John are tasked up with clearing out Shady Belle so that the gang's caravan can arrive, because that is where they are going to basically set up shop in Chapter 4. And we talked about this the other day, that if you just go into this mission guns a-blazing, you'll end up shooting the old man on the bed before he sort of goes into this monologue. And if he does go into this monologue, it'll sort of trigger this unique outcome along with some special dialogue that happens between Arthur and John. In case you missed that video, take a listen to this right here.
I knew you'd come soon enough. You are some other coward, like you. The bounty hunters, the freedmen, the carpetbaggers, the army of criminals who stole our land and our government. I survived them all. Our fight will live on.
Jesus.
How's it looking up there?
Well, I think that's a lot. Didn't even have to shoot the last one.
Good. Come help me with this, will you?
And in my video the other day, I was wondering, like, is there a way to stop this? Because he kind of just goes on this montage and then shoots himself, and then we're done. But I wondered if you could actually prevent it. Would it cause more interesting dialogue? Would he, like, get up and fight you? Would he point the gun at you and shoot it? So that's what I wanted to figure out in this video today. So I wanted to run through a handful of various experiments, some practical, some not so practical. So let's take a look at some of those results right now. So the first thing I thought of doing immediately was, can I actually lasso this old man and get him out of bed? So I ran upstairs, I cleared out the rest of the Lemoyne Raiders just like last time, but this time, instead of pulling out a gun or listening to him, I just tried to lasso him over and over and over and over again. And that did not work at all. In fact, I even tried like lassoing the gun. I tried lassoing him. He's just a character that cannot be contained with the rope. So there wasn't going to be any way in which I was going to be able to like lasso him up. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but that was the first experiment that did not work. The second experiment that I ended up trying here was seeing if I could actually like shoot the gun off the table, or just shoot the gun itself so that it wasn't actually usable. And that's what I ended up trying, but guess what? The gun is actually invincible. So even if you shoot it, nothing happens. The shooting also does not spook the old man. He just continues to go on this conversation and dialogue with you. And I also saw this convenient lantern posted next to him, so I decided, well, I might as well shoot that. Maybe that'll spook him, but what that just did is caused an inferno, and then it ended up killing him that way. And John ended up knowing that everyone had been taken care of and it was time to leave. So that didn't really necessarily work. I mean, it stopped him, sure, but he ended up dying just like you would if you ended up shooting him. So I wouldn't really call that a success. But that was really the second experiment right there. The third experiment, I actually thought of seeing if I could shoot the gun out of his hand. And the first time I tried this, I thought I shot the barrel of the gun. In fact, we'll even slow it down to see if I get him on the first try or not. And it really does look like I did. But even shooting the weapon, that counts as shooting him. And he ended up dying as well. So that really wasn't a success as far as keeping this old man, Lemoyne Raider, alive. And then the following experiment, I actually tried to wait maybe until I had a clearer shot at the weapon. I thought, okay, so I shot it when it was kind of in his lap. Maybe like the bullet went through the gun or missed or whatever the case is. Maybe if I can get it while he's like holding it out away from his body, that would work. So I tried to do that, and I tried to use Deadeye to sort of slow down time, but he actually goes about this very quickly. So that one really wasn't a success, but I definitely knew I was going to try that again. So I ended up going upstairs again, trying the exact same thing. And this time I feel like I was able to shoot before he was able to shoot, and I still didn't have any luck getting the gun out of his hand. So again, no real luck, no real success, at least in those attempts right there. So I only had a couple more ideas up my sleeve, and you guys can definitely let me know if you had any more in those comments down below. But the next experiment I had is, what if I just leave? Like, I walk in the room, he starts talking, but what if I leave? Like, what if I just go downstairs and do nothing? And so that's what I did. In fact, I even thought about leaving altogether, and I did. And I ended up leaving. He still goes on this same conversation, and he still ends up shooting himself up there, even though we're not present. And what's weird about that is the game actually still believes there's someone up there, because I was hanging around on the lower level with John Marston for a little bit, and he didn't seem to acknowledge anything. Arthur even says, dead or alive, you're leaving this place today. And I actually had to walk back upstairs and literally go into the room before it would jump to the next checkpoint of the mission. So that was definitely weird and sort of a workaround, but the same result ended up happening. So not a whole lot ended up changing right there. The next experiment I had is maybe I can just shoot him in a non-fatal area. So I thought, like, the foot on the boot, no way that's going to kill someone. But it turns out that this guy, no matter where he is shot, he is going to instantly die. So that was not really an effective strategy right there. And the final thing I ended up trying was, what if I actually went into his room first and didn't kill any of the other Lemoyne Raiders? And this was by far the most interesting result, because as I barged in, he wasn't getting up and doing his little speech. I was like, what the heck is going on here? He literally just lays in the bed. And then the other Lemoyne Raider, who's in the opposite room, he is actually invincible to things like ropes and non-lethal attacks. Like, you have to kill him before the other old man will start up and do his little speech. So I was trying to, like, tie this guy up in a rope. I was trying to just fist fight him and knock him out. And it turns out, like, you actually have to kill him before the old man in the other room will actually go about his speech. It's only when you do that will he end up getting up and then doing the exact same routine. You're telling me that all this fighting and shooting didn't wake you up until this one dude ended up dying before you? I feel like that's weird. I don't know why that's a part of the mission, why he doesn't wake up and start going into it. Maybe it's because Rockstar wanted you to experience this without, like, a whole lot of other commotion going on, where you'd potentially be fighting someone else. They wouldn't want you to miss it. Or it would have been awkward if this guy did what he did while, like, other fighting is going on or happening. I'm not sure, but I found that to be a very interesting outcome. And that's why I do these experiments, because sometimes you find out some pretty interesting stuff. But I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think about this experiment that we tried today. Do you have any other suggestions that I could do as well? I thought I pretty much tried everything in my power, but maybe there was something I would miss. And if I did, you guys can let me know in those comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.